Happy New Year, my dear friends. I have been prompted by a nice friend, nice customer, that asked me to have some more information about the 8-side solid gold nibs. And actually, I thought that it was due to make a brief video to examine a few of the more important ones that I deal, and so to show you how they work and the little differences that there are among all these nibs. Here you can see we have Montegrappa, Leonardo, Delta, Sailor and Mont Blanc. So these are the nibs I'm going to focus on this video. First of all, the Italian ones. They share all four, they have in common the feeder. They all use ebonite feeder. So Montegrappa, Leonardo and Delta all share this same ebonite feeder fitted with the 8-side solid gold nib. Then there is another similarity among all the three. We're talking about Jowo nibs, but each one you will see is different from the others, even if it comes from the same source. Then the other two, the non-Italian pens, so Sailor, the Japanese one, and Mont Blanc, they have ABS feeder. They use ABS feeders. So we will see the different concepts of making pens of the two of these very well-known pen companies, the Italian ones and the Japanese and the German ones. First of all, we have this big difference in the feeder. It changes a lot in terms of flow of the ink of the pen, and so afterwards the performance is affected as well. Let's start with the Montegrappa. We have here the brand new edition of the famous Extra 1930 pen. Is an iconic model by Montegrappa. It's made entirely in celluloid, and this new 2023 version, which has been released at the end of the last year, is it has this new, is fitted with this new celluloid section. It used to have a sterling silver section, and here you can see this 8 sides Jowo nib fitted with an ebonite feeder. I will use for the samples, I have selected all medium nibs, so we can have a comparison starting from the same size of nib. This is Leonardo, and this is the Arborea collection. It's our exclusive Corsani collection. This is the big 8 size 14 karat La Fenice solid gold nib with the ebonite feeder, which is made in-house by Leonardo. So here we see another big difference. In the Montegrappa you have the standard ebonite feeder provided by Jowo, which is fitted perfectly the nib, of course, and while here on Leonardo and Delta you will see two different ebonite feeders because they are made in-house by the companies itself. And here you can see this new 8 sides nib made by Delta in this last release of the 2023. It's called the Dolce Vita Imperial Blue, and we have this nice, well-made Germany ebonite new feeder made in-house by Delta to fit perfectly this Jowo 14 karat nib sides, 14 karat solid gold nib, sorry. And they have made in-house these new feeders in this case it's very nice because it matches the color of the pen. Going to close the pen back again. It's really nice because it's a kind of demonstrator. The body is partially, no, not partially, it's transparent. And let's go and have a look at this Hybrida. It's another exclusive collection with Leonardo that we have made during last year. I'm going to show you because this one, it's a very peculiar 8 size nib, because it's the titanium one that comes from Bock. So it's the only Bock nib that I'm going to show you today. And it has its own peculiar features, and it's also fitted with the ebonite feeder made in-house by Leonardo. Splendid celluloid on the section, bottom part and cap rings. This was the special features of this collection. Let's have a look at the Japanese sailor King of Pen. It's a renowned nib, one of the most famous in the world, along with the 149 by Montblanc. And here we have the splendid 21 karat solid gold nib with the classic sailor ABS feeder. They won't use anything else than this one. This is a King of Pen Urushi Kaganuri series in this slate blue color. And last, we take a look at the splendid 149 that I think everybody knows. And this is the 8 sides 49 nib, medium size, with the ABS feeder made by Montblanc. Okay, so we have now examined all these 8 size nib. We need to make a comparison how they write. So I'm going to start with the first I began with, so the Montegrappa. Let me assure that this is a medium nib. Yes. Going to show you another peculiarity of these nibs. I'm going to open a few ones, especially the Italian ones. These three, they're all Jowo nibs. But what makes them different one from the other is how they are fitted inside the pen and the feeders. You can see how the in-house feeder made by Delta on the blue one, it's quite similar. It has been designed on the shape of the Jowo one that comes with the pen, while the Leonardo, it's completely different. It's more thick, it's thicker than the other ones. And the two nibs, especially Delta and Leonardo, are inserted less inside in the pen. In fact, if you look at the nibs, they may look as different lengths, but it all depends only in how much they have been inserted inside the section of the pen, which is deliberately decided by each company to obtain different sensation, different feelings on the performance when you write with them, even if they come from the same source, as I told you. So that's why whenever you buy a pen from each and every company, most of the times, especially if they are these companies, you will find differences from all the others, because they have been then or grinded or inserted in different ways to obtain different kind of lines of performance of the nib. So let's start with the medium 8 size nib, 18 karat by Montegrappa. We use the same ink, of course, for all, and a classic Rhodia paper. So we have Monte Grappa. Extra. It's, I can tell you, it's smooth. It's, let me dip a little bit more. I've been too cautious. It's it's extremely smooth. It's a classic medium western size, not too thick. It's, I believe it's a perfect medium. It doesn't scratch at all. It's the flow, it's consistent and not too wet. Good. One of my favorite, to be honest. Then let's try immediately the Leonardo one. Here we have, oh sorry, it's a bit too wet. Leonardo. Arborea. Corsani collection. Here I can tell you immediately the flow is the same. I mean, it's perfectly smooth. It doesn't scratch at all. It's a pleasure. It's a joy to ride with. And the main difference, it's in the flow. This is a little bit wetter, even if not so much as you would expect from an ebonite feeder such as long as this and a 14 karat 8 sides nib like this, because it's been produced and grinded and worked by Leonardo to be less wet than it would be, than it should be with these features, and so to maintain more than ever the real label size that you find on the nib. So they are not so different from the Monte Grappa, a little bit wetter, which is of course depends on the longer ebonite feeder that is fitted with this nib and the fact that it's a 14 karat instead of an 18 karat. Then let's have a dip with the Delta. Delta, we have an Imperial blue, and here I can tell you immediately, perfect nib in this case as well. The flow, it's consistent and good. It's very similar to the Leonardo one, and probably depends on the fact that the two nibs have been inserted with the same length. They are quite longer than the Monte Grappa, and so it is like the Leonardo. It's a little bit wetter and a little bit bouncier because you have a longer length of the nib, which allows you to have a more not flex but bouncy feeling. But it's clearly that we are talking about the same medium size by Jowo with very little but substantial differences. And now let's go to show you the world of Japan with the King of Pen, medium size always. Here we have Sailor, King of Pen. Here you can see that we have a thinner line, especially if I don't use pressure, while we have a very nice even flexy feeling on this kind of pen, because it's very soft and smooth. It's a joy. It's marvelous. I have to tell you, it's a marvelous nib. I'm Italian, so I struggle to say it, but it's incredible. It's wonderful. You can do really whatever you want with this nib. You can have a flexible style, even just with a little pressure, or you can have a very thin line with a light pressure. They know how to make a beautiful nib. It's so wonderful. And then we are nearly in the end. I hope I haven't bored you. Let's try Mont Blanc. Oh, maybe I have to dip. Let's start here beside Monte Grappa, and we have Mont Blanc. Oh, sorry, I've written not very good. It was too wet. Of course, I'm dipping the pans, so they are quite a little bit wet, and then they would be in a normal flow if you fill the pan. I can't do it, but here we have probably the thickest line about all we have tried up till now. And but it's definitely a classic Western medium. You can see compared to Monte Grappa, they are not, and Leonardo especially, we are on the same sides. It's hard, it's a harder nib, so it doesn't change a lot, but that's the philosophy of Mont Blanc with the ABS feeder. Constant flow, no skipping, nothing at all, because the nib is quite hard and perfectly aligned and immovable along with the feeder. So here you have, nothing will ever change. Okay, let's have a try of the last one. I forgot about it. It's the titanium nib, which has this peculiar feeling. We have this one, it's a Bock. Sorry, it needed to be more. Yeah, here we have a Bock nib, Bock titanium nib. This is the nib I've used with this special collection Hybrida that we have made in collaborations with Leonardo. It's a nib that I love because it's so versatile. You can see this is a medium, but it's not, even with a slight pressure, it becomes like a flexible nib. In fact, more modern flex nibs have been made in titanium because it's the contrary of what we usually think. Titanium is not a hard metal, but it's very soft. So you have a nice sensation on these nibs, and you can vary a lot depending on the pressure. It's a very good, not good. It's an excellent nib in my point of view, and besides, it's less expensive than a solid gold one. And with this big ebonite feeder made in house by Leonardo, it's even more entertaining and joyful to ride with than any other. So I'm going to end up here this show, this explanation of the 8-side solid gold nibs that I deal here in Corsani. I hope you have enjoyed this demonstration, these riding samples. Ask away whatever you need to know, any more information you may have. Do not hesitate to send me an email or WhatsApp, a message, whatever you want. And I hope you have enjoyed this brief video. It's not so thorough. There would be many more things to say, but at least now I hope you have a better idea of how to choose among the different 8-size nibs that we have on the market right now. So this is our first video of 2024. Hope you will enjoy and stay tuned with us in Corsani, because this year we will have a lot of special surprises for you, since our 100th anniversary is about to come. We have started this year that it's, for us, it's a very special year. See you very soon, my friends.